All right, everybody. I was inside the house earlier. I made 3 weights, but I didn't like the angle. It was shooting down from the top. I didn't like it. I like the, the audio. Everything looked good. The lighting was great. But hey, let me bring it out here. It's hot. Oh, man, it's hot. This is not big boy weather at all. That's why I'm not fishing right now. Let's get right to it. We're going to make these weights, and what I've got is some of the parts we're going to need. And this stuff right here, I've already cut it. It's about 6.5 inches long. It's 1/4 inch lead wire. Get it off Amazon. I don't remember if it's 3 pounds or 5 pounds, but it was cheap. Probably made 50 weights with it. These 6.5 inch-ish or 2.5 ounces. These are 1/4 inch hard tubing. Basically, I'm using that just as a filler, and it's stiff, so I like that. What we're going to do is take this shrink tube, and I'm going to insert this down in here. First things first, we're going to build it. Plastic goes in first, lead goes in next, and I want to push it just a little bit past the end. And I'm going to let that close up, and it's going to be a little bit of a kind of a more secure around that weight. I'm going to use this torch, and every time I do these, I end up burning my hands. So we're going to try to not do that this time. Now you see that's just turning that shrink tube, or it's shrinking it down. It's not turning it into nothing, it's not magic. We're shrinking it down. You can use a heat gun. I don't recommend a cigarette lighter. You want to talk about burn your fingers, good grief. So just need a little bit of heat, don't need much. And then I'm going to check it right now. Make sure that this tubing is as far down as it should go. We're on it. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these scissors, and I'm going to come off of the end a little bit. Cut it. My swivels just fell on the floor. That's what I need next. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and shrink this down. I can hold this in now. Don't burn your fingers. But keep reminding yourself you probably don't need to be doing these. But anyways, there was a channel that was on YouTube, still on there, and I believe it's fishing stuff, but I will flash up his name and his channel. He was the one making these. I didn't come up with this, so I'm not brilliant. But anyways, just the simplicity of making them and the cost. These things are, $8, $9, $10 a piece if you buy them from a retailer. So I thought I could do that, right? All right, so here we go on this end. I've got the top of that tube about right here, and I want the shrink tube to grab a hold of the barrel swivel portion. So I'm gonna cut it off, and then I'm gonna stuff this end down in there. And in doing so, when I shrink this up, it'll get a really good hold on that barrel swivel, and believe it or not, it won't come off. This particular shrink tube has got some glue in it. Boom, there it is. If you guys can see that, I hope you can. It's really got a good hold on it. Anyways, we'll put that with the finished ones. Let's do another one. Sorry, this is kind of impromptu. I wasn't planning on being outside, but like I said, the camera angle is terrible. And I was like, nobody wants to see my belly, not even me. That was really kind of that straight down look. All you're seeing is this vacation style shirt I have on, and kind of it. Okay, I went a little bit farther on that one, don't matter. I'm just gonna go ahead and lock down this end so that weight won't slide out. See, there we go, boom, perfect. Go ahead and keep getting this thing shrunk down. The wind is really making this a little more difficult. That's okay, not in a rush. There we go, let's go ahead. I kind of blistered it a little bit right there. We're gonna let that cool. There's the top of my lead right here where my finger is. Find the top of this tubing, slide it down. It don't hurt, I'll just cut a little extra off the end. Give us a little something to work with. So we'll put this over here. I'm about out of supplies. So I'll have to buy a whole new set of everything for this next round that I have to make. Okay, so we're good here. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this. I'm gonna turn this fire up just a little bit. kind of speed this up. Don't worry about it getting flexible right here in the middle between the weight and the tubing. It'll do that, but as soon as this stuff cools, it kind of hardens a little bit. Fingers, watch your fingers. Let's go ahead and set this down. We'll let it kind of set for a second. That is my biggest failure point on this design. But in my defense, there's not a lot that you could do to change that without getting kind of inventive and aggressive. These things are fractional on the cost. I can get the exact number, I think. I'm gonna say they're under $1 or $2 a piece. I mean, so I'm kind of thinking to myself, what would I change? What would I improve that would make it more durable? These things last probably, unless you lose one, that happens sometimes. I'll hang up and then I'll end up cutting it off because I've got a good drag going or something, and I don't want to turn around. So I'll just cut them off. Most of the time, if I hang up drifting, I can go ahead and, oh, you turkey. It's not how I wanted that at all. See if I can do this without burning myself. Yeah, that works. Okay, don't turn it upside down and want to pour it out of there. Don't touch this one, it's going to be hot. There we go. Uh-oh, got that a little hot. Okay, we're gonna let that sit. Still good though. You can see it wrapped around there real good. I kind of got a little bit of a red tint, purplish tint. Heat treated that swivel a little bit. All right, I got enough for one more. Here's my stuff. Like I said, we'll talk about everything that we're putting into this. I'll save this bag, put it up underneath here, and I'll go inside in a minute and we'll talk about everything. Get out of this heat. And I'm going to put a link to everything that I bought off of Amazon. And that way you guys can go get these too if you want. You want to make them, you want to save yourself some money. There it is. I like it. I made some shorter ones, probably a dozen or so when I first started doing this without the tubing. I don't like those as well. I don't know why. I just kind of think in my mind, if it's out there in the water and it's standing up dragging, that I would want it to be taller. It could be just my mind where I'm thinking, oh, this is better. But hey, here's something cool, or at least I think it's cool. We get through with this here in a little bit. I'm gonna take the media mod case off of this GoPro and I'm gonna put it in the pool. And I'm gonna cut a rig, whoa, right off. See where that bent? That's the place where these two are touching, and you can see now this one's much more durable. These things, they still got a little flex in them, but it takes a long time to break them. But what we're going to do with that rig off of my poles is I'm gonna put it in a swim pool, and we're gonna film it underwater. I want to see what it does. I want you guys to see what it does. I'm gonna mess with some different leader links. I've never done this kind of a engineering approach, if you will. So I don't really know what we're going to get into, but since it's so hot and a swim pool is a good place to get out of the heat, I thought what better thing to do than to hop in the swim pool and kind of video what's going on with these things. I think it's going to be really interesting. What my plan is I'm going to take some weight and I'm going to put some electrical tape on my hooks, and by doing so, I'm going to put some electrical tape on there. I'm going to protect the pool liner. It's just a cheesy pool, but we like it. And I'm also going to add some weight to it to kind of mimic a hook that's actually got bait on it, so we can see how well the Demon Dragon floats it up. Do these in fact stand up? Are the leaders too long? Are the leaders too short? You know, all those questions that you just can't answer because our lake is super stained. It's almost muddy, if you will. So I'm really curious to see how that turns out. If you guys can see these now, but there they are. There's finished product right there. There's 6 of them. I made 6 of them in probably 20 minutes. Super easy. Probably could have made them in 10 minutes if I wasn't recording all this. Let's take a look at what I got. So there they are. They're all about the same length. They're all about the same weight. So yeah, pretty pleased with that. Anyways, here's your Hooker's Terminal Tackle Duo lock snaps. Those are the ones I'm using right now. Got the good quality swivel and a decent snap on them. Here they are in life. So awesome. Let's check it out and see what we did. Let's take a real quick look also at my gear. These are Ancient Mariner reels. These are the 6000 model. As you can see, put some miles on them. They've held up pretty good, you know, for the price. Man, they're not bad. I know they make better ones on the market, but in that about $100 range, they're pretty good. Come on down from there. I've got the Hooker's Terminal Tackle Backstabber. This is an 8/0, and it's the biggest hook that I'm running right now is this 8. Try to keep my bait size kind of down. I had a couple fish get off. I'm going to change all my hooks and setups and freshen everything up. This is a Demon Dragon knockoff from China. It's a float and a rattle. It's in line. And then I've got my leader. We're coming up here a good ways. And then I've got this ball bearing stainless swivel that I'm using. I'm going to cut this off of this pole. And this is what's going to go to the pool with another one of those fresh weights that we just built. So we're going to see, how does this thing perform underwater? I'm really curious. I'm going to mess with some different leader links and some different things. I know this is probably terrible footage, but kind of doing this on the fly here. Anyways, get enough line that where I can tow that along pretty good. And that's probably good. I'll tie this back up later. But anyways, we're going to cut that off and I'm going to take it to the pool. I was over here talking about my rig. I talked about the Ancient Mariner reel. I didn't even mention the Catch the Fever Big Cat rods. This is their original series. These are medium heavy, and I've had these for over 3 years. I love them. This is 30-pound Andy Monster monofilament in the kind of neon green. Anyways, it's good stuff. I like it. Every bit of it's been kind of cost effective, and it's been proven. So I did cut the leader off. It's right here on the ground. And it's coiled up over there. So that's the one that's going to the swimming pool where we do our tests here in a little bit. Probably a little later. It's hot. Yeah, it's hot. I'm gonna go inside. I'm sweating. All right, everybody. I don't have my microphones on. Ladies, my eyes are up here. And I know it's gonna be tough, but hey, let's talk about what we got going on. I put this rig in here and I hope you can see it okay. I'm gonna get a little bit of underwater footage for this video. I didn't expect what I'm getting, and what I mean by that is, if you can see, the weight is standing up. The float is at, this pool is 52 inches. The float is in full command. I have a 10-gram package behind there, and what's important about that is I fish a lot of chicken breast, and chicken breast is a lot of water, so the downward force that's created by chicken breast is pretty minimal. And what I'm discovering is this particular float is in full command of my rig, and this is not going to be something I can cover on this particular video. Here we go, and let's pull, and you see it's just on the top. So anyways, here it is. I don't have the answers in this video. It's going to be too long if I add it in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to really dive deep into the hydrodynamics and the downward forces of everything that works on our baits. And I'm going to try to go into details where maybe nobody's gone as far as the Santee Cooper rig. And I'm doing that for myself more than anything, but I'm bringing you guys along. And why I'm doing that is because, you know what, we all want to catch more fish. I'm not catching the fish I want to on rod and reel right now, and it's frustrating. And I think I know why. I've got, on this rig, I've got about a 5-foot leader, and what it looks like is the way that thing is floating, and this is 52 inches of water in my pool. I think if it was 60 inches, this thing would be floating at almost a vertical angle. And of course, depending upon how I pull it, which I pull at 0.4, 0.5 miles an hour, you're gonna get excuse me, a little deflection, not much. So I'm probably fishing almost 5.5, 4.5, whatever that is, 4.5, 5.5 foot out of the water above the bottom. And that is not what I want at all. So here's the thing. I've got to look at buoyancy of the floats. I've got to look at size of my baits, downward force of my baits once they're in water. And I'm gonna try to unfold the mysteries of how do you put the baits in the sweet spot. Hopefully that's gonna be interesting. And like I said, it's coming in the next video. So what I want you to do is like and subscribe, hit the bell, and let's go on this adventure together.